I'm here to talk about my grandfather. My name is Sandra Culham, and this is my handsome husband, Eric Culham, of course. And his name was James Joseph Hamilton Nisbet, and he was born in Rhylebush in 1898, and he moved to Hokianga in the far north. When the First World War broke out, Jim travelled to Auckland to join the army. He was only 17 years old, but he claimed to be 19, so he was sworn in on the 15th of July after his medical exams, etc. On the 9th of January, Jim travelled by ship to Tahiti, to the ship Tahiti, to arrive in Suez on February 1916. Jim writes in his diary, slept 13 men in a tent, hope less men in tent tomorrow. This owing to the measles in Tahiti. We are quarantined for about 9 days. I wish we could get to the scrap, get it over and get home. Jim spent day after day training and marching with Aussies. In downtime they played sports and even took a trip to the pyramids. Jim left Egypt on the 9th of April and arrived at Armenteres on the 19th of May. He went to the front line on the 15th of July. He describes the trenches, helmets galore, dead men, blood everywhere, bleeding, wounded men, snipers all around, horrible smell, gas alarms and raging fires. Aussies and Kiwis working together, carrying out the dead and the wounded. On 14th of September, he heard that they were to go over the top tomorrow at 6 a.m, the Battle of the Somme. This has been a hard day for me. This is on the 15th of September. He says this is hard. We started for the Hunnel right, my friend Jim and I together, and then within a few yards of the trench, something burst behind me and I went down. Jim rushed to my aid, but I waved him away. I crawled into a shell hole, took off my boot and sock. The ankle was smashed, terrible pain. What Jim failed to mention is that he had a lucky escape from death, as the grenade that he was holding in his hand, with the pin already pulled, did not go off. The following day he was in an ambulance train on his way to the Walton Thames Hospital in England. Jim's recovery was quite slow, but he was taken on many outings, and he did speak with the King and the Queen. Once well enough to travel, he was shipped home and to the Epsom Convalescent Home for soldiers. Soon after that, he married his childhood sweetheart, Maggie McGee. Jim was a Scottish Presbyterian and Maggie was an Irish Catholic. Jim was recognised by the Queen with an MBE for his work in helping families of soldiers to obtain service pensions. Jim passed away on the 15th of May 1973.
And do you remember him very well?
Oh yes, yes. Yes, he was lovely. You can see that. Look at that. He was a really nice person.
Lovely looking man.
Yeah.
You lived with them for a while, didn't you?
Yes, he did. And I used to lie beside him with this grey blanket that we had on the bed with the red stripe up, and I'd lie down beside him. Yeah.
Did he ever mention the war at all?
Oh, not much. No. And I've rung, his children, and they said, they didn't have much information. Yes. Yeah.
And his ankle injury,
Yes.
did that affect him for the rest of his life?
Yes, it did. Every now and then he had to go to the doctor and get more shrapnel taken out. But he had a happy life. Yeah, he worked in Auckland in the Army Transport Group. Yes.
And did he ever commemorate Anzac Day as a family? Did you ever go off to Anzac Day?
Oh yes, he did. He used to go to the local schools and speak about it. Yes, yeah.
Would you like to tell us about some of the things you've brought in today? You've got his medals there, perhaps, for a start?
Ah yes, these are the medals.
Hold them up.
Yeah. And I think that's the MBE on the end. Yes.
And so he wore those for his
Yes.
talks, perhaps?
Oh
on
yes,
Anzac
he
Day?
did. He did do that. Yes.
Beautiful. And we've got some lovely cards here.
This is a card that I must open it to see what it really is. To my dear mother. Yes, beautiful embroidery sent home to Hokianga. And this one is the other way round.
Yes, he sent it to his mum.
He sent him to his mother.
Yeah.
Good luck.
This is lovely.
And this one is a bit of a sad one. Just before he left to go to the war, he had his photos taken with his mother. Not so good, is it?
And did he have brothers and sisters?
Yes, they did. But I don't know why they didn't go. Probably because they were farmers.
And over here, is that a photograph of him when he's older? One there.
Oh yes, this was when he got his MBE.
Oh, pinned on it,
Yes.
on his shirt.
And this is my grandmother, of course, Maggie McGee, and he had his crutches hiding around the door.
How long do you think he was on crutches for?
Oh, long time. Yes, yes.
And we've got some other lovely little things here in the front. We've got his diary.
Oh, I haven't looked at this for a long time. Arrived Wednesday the 13th. Arrived in trenches last night. Dug most of the night. Trenches, something awful. Dead men everywhere. Plenty of strife here. Had 9 casualties, and this afternoon 3 fatal, 4 Clements were slightly wounded. Clements was his relations.
There's a really nice page in here you might like to read, Mum, about when he asked Maggie to marry him before he left.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, didn't you see that one?
No. And this is his Bible.
And did he carry the Bible throughout the war?
Yes, he did. And the diary is written in every day. Yeah.
Do you think you might be able to read that, Mum?
I'll
It's
see.
a bit hard in the writing, isn't it?
Oh. Proposed to M. He always referred to it as M. No, anything else, I guess. On Sunday, the 24th of July, 1915, said, want me, said she would wait for me till I returned. I received a photo on Sunday of August. Definitely engaged. I can't read the rest of it.
And just underneath this, can you read that in pencil? Because that's he's written to her.
Oh Maggie, if anything happens to me and something,
Shall I read it, Mum?
yes, you can
It's a
read.
bit hard. It's in pencil. Oh, I haven't got my glasses on. Oh, sorry. I think it's important. Read it. So basically, he wanted to get her promise of marriage before he left, and then he wrote soon after, "Oh Maggie, if anything happens to me and you receive this diary, you will please know that I will always think of you. I pray to God that nothing will happen and that we will soon be together again. For good, your loving sweetheart, Jim." So throughout this diary he does refer to her, doesn't he, and say, dear, dear Em, dear Em, good night Em, all throughout the diary.
Is there a part of the diary where he's wounded, that he notes that he's been wounded?
Oh yes.
Yes, it is there.
Yeah, it's there, it's here. It's what's been copied, it's what my mum read.
Right,
Yes,
right, and
yes.
that's when he's wounded.
I read it.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's that page there where he was wounded.
And so what else have we got there?
Well, really, I do not know what it is. It's looks like a bank. What was it? Draft. Put it down.
So as well as carrying his diary and his Bible throughout the trenches, there's a wee note there. Is that from his mother that he may have carried with him as well?
Oh yes.
Would you like to read that to us?
Oh yes. No, actually it's not his mother. I see now. It's from his auntie.
Oh, it's from his auntie.
His auntie. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. In the old home, we are always thinking and praying for you, Jim. Mary.
Lovely. Is there anything else that you'd like to tell us about, perhaps? Any of these?
I'm not sure. Is there anything you wanted to add, Dad? These are some postcards from when he went to Marseille.
You got a good coverage so far.
Is there anything you wanted to say, Dad?
No, he had a house that my wife lived in for a year, and then I married her and took her onto a farm.
You courted Mum, didn't you?
Yeah.
You courted Mum, and she was
On
living
the veranda.
On the veranda.
with her grandparents.
But the front door had windows like this.
Oh, so they'd be inside.
And he was good to me.
So he was good to you. Yes, he was good to you.
So
He
you have
proved
good.
to you.
Sorry. So you have good memories of him.
Very good memories.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Yeah.
good. I had to fight a battle because Sandra had been advised to never marry a farmer. You had to get over that. And we did.
Yeah. That was all.
And is there anything you want to add?
I can still remember my great-grandfather.
What made you remember? Was it what
Well,
he gave to you to eat?
yeah, the sweets.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of sweets. And way up high, he had a jar of black balls, the white and black lollies. They were up in a really high jar. So when we went to visit, we would always give him those. And we refer to him as Lassie Pop because he called me Bonnie Lassie, being Scottish. And so I had quite a few grandparents alive at the time, so he was always referred to as Lassie Pop.
Yes.
And I do remember him. And I do remember when he died as well.
And did you know about his war service
Oh,
when
yes.
you were a child? It was freely talked about.
No, he was very active in the community as far as continuing to help people that had been involved in the war. So yeah, he was well known and well respected. Yeah. So we all knew who he was. People knew who we were because he was our grandfather.
That's right.
Yeah. Great grandfather.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you so much for coming in today. This was lovely.